Hi, I'm Ashy. Welcome to my January alphabet painting series. So this year I decided to choose a New Year's resolution that I feel like is actually doable, and that is for the first 26 days of the year, to paint a small, quick watercolor sketch that corresponds with the letters of the alphabet. This will help me be disciplined and help me paint daily for this first, month or so. And hopefully this will help me also build that habit of creativity and just pulling out the paints every single day. And it's just building that habit of creativity. Let me know if you have any New Year's resolutions that you are deciding on for yourself this year. I'd love to hear your different ideas in the comments. So for each of these videos, I'll be using the brand new sketchbook that I'm starting this year. It's Moleskine watercolor album. It's not the highest quality paper, but for quick watercolor sketches, it does the job. Let's jump in. Day 3 is C for car, and this one I for sure am gonna sketch first because cars are tricky. So this is really just more of like a challenge one for me. So I'm gonna start by getting in kind of the front bumper basically of the car, and it's going to kind of curve up a little bit like that. Okay, and then there's like a light here. I'm not sure what car I'm drawing, but I went for one that looks like it has a little smile here on its front grille. So there's my little smiling car. And then we get some slanted eyes. So, at least that's what I call them. They look like eyes. So we're kind of curving around. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there's my car's eyes, or at least what looks like it to me. And then just kind of come around this side of the car. And from here it kind of goes up and back and curves up toward the windshield. Okay, so then same on this side. It's going to be a similar shape, so let's go ahead and put in that bottom edge of the windshield so that I have kind of a target to aim for. And then it curves up and then back down. Okay, and then some little basically like ridges on the hood there. Okay. Now, for this side of the car, we go back from the edge a little bit here, and then we have one of the wheel wells. So put in a tire here, and it's not going to be an exact circle because we're looking at it from an angle, so it's going to be more of an oval. And then putting in the actual, I don't know what it's called, spot where the wheel goes in. There's a gap there, right? And then back from there farther to the next wheel. And the next one we're going to see even less of because it's farther back and more at an angle. Okay. And then above that, we have the door. So let's go to the top of the car now, and we come up and get the windshield here and go in just a little bit. And this is going to be kind of a cartoony car. I'm not making it super realistic for a couple reasons. One of them being I probably can't. Not that skilled. Okay, this part comes down and angles down toward the back wheel, and then there's a window here, a mirror here, okay. You can see the mirror poking out on this side too. Give it more of a curve there. And then coming back to the back of the car and the little trunk area. Again, that you can't see that much of, and then the front of the door, I guess, would kind of be something like that with the door handle. Okay, there's my car. So I'm gonna take my kneaded eraser and just lighten up the pen marks. I don't know why I did it so tiny, but I made a tiny car. So we're gonna take the kneaded eraser and just gently roll it and kind of dab it to lift up some of that extra graphite. And then we can go in and paint the car. Okay, so I have my paints next to me. Get my water. And a brush. Probably gonna need a smaller brush for this one than I used on the last one. So on the first two, I just used this size 2, which is like a big size 2 to be honest. But I use this for the whole thing. So this one I just grabbed a, see, this one says size 2 also. So clearly they're confused. So I have 2 different size 2s. But I grabbed the small one so that when I need it for doing the details, I have it. And I'm gonna make it a purple car because purple is my daughter's favorite color. So this one will be dedicated to my daughter. So just get a nice light wash here of purple. And I'm trying to paint around all of the lights so that I can leave those bright. I'll probably add just a tiny bit of yellow to it to show the headlight color. But overall trying to leave them bright so that they stand out as being light instead of just like fake painted on lights. I mean, that's what they are fake painted on lights, but I don't know what I'm saying. This is what I get for trying to talk and paint at the same time. But I'm trying to talk and paint at the same time so that it's not just silence while I'm painting. And I don't want to go in and voice over all of these videos because that would take a long time, and I'm trying to do one a day. and I don't have that kind of time. So then I'm just going in and touching this every spot that should be purple. And I'm using very, very little water on this because it's so small and I need that control basically. And I'm just trying to maintain that control. Okay. I'll just kind of touch the top of the car here. Okay. So now I just need to go in and clean it up a little bit, make it look like a smoother wash because it's all funny looking. So now that I've painted around those white spaces, it's a little bit easier to kind of preserve them because they're not wet and the rest of the paint is a little bit damp. And so the watercolor wants to kind of stay in the spot where the paper is damp. And so that's kind of nice after you get your first wash in, that it is easier to keep preserving those light areas. So I'm going to leave the top of the car really light purple to be like a highlight. And then some areas on the side here too. A lighter purple. Okay. Now to go in and add just a little bit of detail, like those lines on the hood that I had drawn in. I'm just going to do them a darker purple, and it's going to be pretty subtle. It's not going to be very well defined. I don't know, that's not the right word, but it's subtle. And then there's like this spot that has, I don't know what it's called, but the spot that goes over the wheel, and like, I don't know, it's it might be a fender, I don't know. Okay, and then I need to add a little bit of definition here to emphasize this perspective of the change from the front of the car, the front bumper, to the top hood of the car. Okay, and then same when going from the top to the side. So just going to add some more depth there. Okay. Now I'm going to get my smaller brush and do the black wheels, tires. I don't know why my brush is separated. Okay, there we go. Just didn't have enough water on it. So I'm going to add black for the tires here. And then I'm going to add black for the grill, the little happy face. And I'm going to leave some white highlight. Oops. Okay. And I painted over where a light would be here. So, whoops. That's okay. So I'm just kind of touching around the lights a little bit to give them a little bit of separation from the rest of the car. And then I'm going to do a very light wash of gray on the window or the windshield. And then to add a little bit of contrast, I'm going to tap in a little bit of darker gray in some spots and then leave kind of more the top part as the highlight. And then same for this side window, just tap in some gray. Got a little bit too wet, so I'm just kind of sopping up some of that water and then tapping in a little bit more concentrated pigment there. All right, now to get just a little bit of yellow for the headlights. And I don't want this to be super bright. I want it to be pretty pale. Okay. Now let's do some gray inside the tires too to make it look like a rim, and tap some yellow onto where these lights would be. And then I think I just need a little bit more definition to kind of clean up the top edge. So I was planning on leaving it pretty light, but you can't even see it, and it was really messy looking, so just kind of tap that in like that. All right, now this yellow on the headlight isn't showing up basically at all, so let's tap in some more color. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, and then I think I'm gonna use the fine liners to define where the edge of like the door and the hood is. So let me just grab my paintbrush and do a letter. So we'll do red for C. Okay. C is 4, and well, I'll do pink for car, and we're gonna try lettering again. Okay, maybe just because it's a little bit bigger, it'll be a little easier. I don't know. I'm gonna try to hold farther away from the tip too and see if that helps. The answer is no, it does not help. So I also am trying to figure out what angle I should hold the brush at, and I think I need to hold it relatively vertical. Okay, C is for car. Tiny, tiny car. Now, fine liners. And go 0.1 and just kind of define the hood. Oh no! I just made my C bleed. Okay. Let's work on undoing that. So if you make a mistake in watercolor, you can sort of fix it by wetting it and then kind of scrubbing it a little bit, and either just continuing to do that with the brush where you wet it and then you lift it up, dry it off, lift it up, dry it off, or you can use a paper towel to go in and dab out some of the paint. And this is going to be a little bit more obvious because I'm not going back over like around this C at all, so you're going to see a little bit of the red still, but it salvaged it, and then I can go back in and fix my C up a little bit. Okay, well, there we go. Back to what I was gonna do with the fine liners. Let's not touch where it's wet. Okay, so along the headlight where the hood would open, and then it comes down and goes across, and then along this headlight also, and then same with this edge right here where it would come up. Okay, and then the door has this kind of shape to it, and then comes around and down, and then I'm gonna put the door handle here just because I have the pen in my hand. Okay. And then some of the parts I'm going to go ahead and outline also, like this edge of the window and maybe a little bit of the mirror, just to get a little bit of interest, I guess, more than anything. Okay, there we go. Give my smile some definition. Give my tire a little bit more. All right, there is my car for day 3. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to see when each of my new videos drops. Have an awesome day.